Prince Harry is having such a nervous breakdown that a picture of his young niece celebrating her birthday, lovely young woman who he no longer has anything to do with because of his appalling treatment of her parents, sends him into some type of meltdown. The biggest meltdown he's feeling right now is as a result of his erasal by his father, King Charles, from Highgrove. Yes, this was before the appalling behaviour. This is now. Do you notice the picture that's missing from the wedding? For very good reason. I reckon Camilla probably chucked it in the bin, actually. But let me show you why Prince Harry is apparently having this breakdown, with friends revealing to Richard Eden how the lovely new image of Charlotte left him feeling very sad. For an old friend of the Duke of Sussex tells Richard Eden that Harry desperately wishes his own children, Prince Archie, who turned 7 yesterday, and Princess Lilibet 4, enjoyed the same sort of childhood as their cousins Charlotte, Prince George and Prince Louis. Who took that right and that opportunity away from them? Chickens coming home to roost is the saying that rings a bell here. This is what the pal told Mr. Eden. Archie and Lily are having a lovely time in California, a lovely time as prisoners in that mansion. But Harry is very sad that they are missing out on life with the rest of their family. During his return visit to Britain last September, Harry told a friend that he and his wife Meghan plan to educate their children in this country, meaning the UK. Harry feels his children are missing out on the extensive family network that their cousins are enjoying, explained the chum, referring to Prince William and Catherine's offspring, who all currently attend the same public school, £32,000 per year, Lumbrook. Harry wants his children to have the very best education, the friend added. He has retained his closest friendship group of confidants from his days at Ludgrove and Eton. He wants that for his own children. Now, again, there's a lot of propaganda being put out there. Can I just tell you, he hasn't maintained the friends and the confidants from his school days, because I know some of those guys and they find his behaviour truly reprehensible. They find the way that he treats the British royal family truly reprehensible. So can we please stop this propaganda that Harry is still in touch with all of these old mates? No. Most of them think that he is a scumbag and feel like the rest of the British public. The friend conceded that Harry might have a challenge selling his plan to Meghan. Oh yeah, no sugar, Sherlock, who is said to consider sending children to boarding school barbaric. Well, that is a dig. Can I just be clear about what's going on here? That is a dig at Prince William and Catherine, who are probably intending to send Prince George to a boarding school. And so now we have Meghan, who I think is anything but Mother of the Year, describing William and Catherine as barbaric. Sickening. This is also sickening and desperate. The pal went on, there is still some negotiation for Harry to have with Meghan. The king, however, is delighted. No, he's not. Again, can we please stop this propaganda suggesting that in some way the king, who has now cut all contact with Harry, really gives a damn about his pie-in-the-sky plans. Actually, what he wants is Harry not causing trouble and not causing difficulty. And if he were to return to the United Kingdom, bring the children back to attend school here, guess what? That would immediately cause trouble and difficulties for the king. That comment, though, Richard Eden goes on, suggests that the Duke had mentioned his plans to educate his children in Britain to his father, who he met for tea at Clarence House last September. Given the ages of Archie and Lilibet, who were controversially given Queen Elizabeth II's family pet name, they are unlikely to be sent to boarding school across the Atlantic anytime soon. Meanwhile, their cousin Prince George is expected to start boarding school, probably Eton College, that's what I believe, in September. Now, as the royal grift put it, after having to put up with that, these royal reporters are the reason for a lot of this gaslighting. Are you effing kidding me with this bullshit? We are sick of these two. Let them sort it out privately. But here is how Richard Eden responded.
Trouble brewing in Montecito. Friends of Prince Harry have revealed his one wish for Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, but Meghan may need to be convinced. Prince Archie turned 7 this week, and his cousin, Princess Charlotte, celebrated her 11th birthday. And friends of Prince Harry have said how sad Harry is that his children do not have relationship with their cousins, or with the wider royal family network?
I mean, P. Diner, royal YouTube sensation, by the way. Hello, welcome. Great to have you back on Outspoken. Sorry, I'm just so into this story.
Yeah.
You know, I actually agree with the royal grift on this. Like, what is Richard Eden trying to suggest here? What is he playing at? And actually, everyone needs to see through what this is. Total propaganda from Team Harry and Meghan, full of lies, attempting to do down William and Catherine by describing them as barbaric, attempting to do down William and Catherine for putting out a lovely picture of Charlotte. I mean, it's just nuts. And also, I think totally misrepresenting where the king actually stands in regards to Harry today.
Well, I think there's just a lot of confusion because Harry is confused. There is a lot of stories going in so many different directions. No one really truly knows. But I think from the experience that Harry is having right now, I mean, I can see him wanting to have his children have experiences that he had growing up. So I do see that there is some problems with, the future of Harry's children. What is happening now, I think, with the media is just there's just so much going with their lives in terms of, what people are saying that they said, what the reality is. And I just think it plays to the fact that, Harry's life is a mess and he is confused and his children are confused. They will be essentially later as they get older because none of this will make sense to them because their lives have been, I think, hidden from them. Part of their life has been hidden from them in real time. Like right now, they're not going to experience a lot of these things that, Charlotte and the other cousins are experiencing. So it's really sad to watch it actually happening because we know that these children are experiencing a very secluded life that is not going to give them the full life that they should have as real royals, living in the UK. So, that's how I see it. It's just a lot of confusion with everything because he's confused.
Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, P. Diner, it's like, does he have any idea who his wife is? Like, I have said for a long time, and we have even had this conversation, P. Diner, and you know all about this given your time in California, there is no way in hell that she is letting the children be privately educated in the United Kingdom because all of a sudden she would potentially lose that ability once the marriage breaks up to keep the children in California, which is effectively her biggest bargaining chip in terms of either what the divorce settlement is or what type of agreement they come to. So it's just not happening. And I just find it so delusional that Harry will have these conversations with his friends. And I'm sure he does have a lot of dreams, but it's like she's not allowing that.
No, Meghan is smart. She knows that that's going to be her ticket to never having these children because they will then become like forever in the UK, essentially. I mean, that would be their whole life, essentially, will be going away to boarding school. And she will not have any power. She's giving up her power if she allows this to happen. So, no, there is absolutely no way that's going to happen. I mean, I even have a personal story where something very similar happened to me. And that's what I was thinking. I'm not going to allow my child to go visit in another country where his dad is because I will lose my custody rights. So, yeah, Meghan is not going to allow that to happen.
100%. Then we come to the dig from Charles. And Pete Diner, don't tell me this is not deliberate. Okay, because they know the symbolism of these moments. And it really makes me think right back to when I revealed the story of Megxit, and it has become folklore now. But remember, I was being briefed by people very, very close to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that one of the final straws in terms of their reason to decide to leave was when they saw that the late Queen Elizabeth, during her Christmas message that year, didn't have the picture of Harry and Meghan. And well, it was Archie at that time, wasn't it? It wasn't Lily, but didn't have the picture of Harry, Meghan, and Archie on her table. That was one of the things. So this is symbolism, and it's got to hurt. Let me just take you through the reporting of it. This from Hello magazine, actually. King Charles's Highgrove shake-up sees Meghan Markle photo move. His Majesty King Charles has had a reshuffle at his beloved countryside home in Gloucestershire. A new look inside reveals. But as Long Sally, aka Sue Smith, revealed, bye-bye, Meghan. They took her picture down, and I don't blame them. Cleansing the house of evil. It was actually Chris Jackson, the Getty photographer who does a lot of royal stuff, who put this out there to the world, because I think he had taken those pictures that do remain on the table. And as Hello went on, His Majesty King Charles loves spending time at his Gloucestershire home, Highgrove, and the countryside retreat is full of very personal elements, including family photographs. A fresh look inside the royal residence has revealed that the monarch has had a reshuffling of the photo frames, and seemingly a photo of Meghan and Harry's wedding day has been moved from its prime position. An Instagram story by royal photographer Chris Jackson, who was at the property to host an event, quickly snapped two of his own images on display in one of the gorgeous rooms. A small wooden table showed an image of Prince Harry shoulder to shoulder with his brother Prince William and father King Charles. Another showed King Charles holding his grandson Prince Louis. In 2024, influencer Lydia Malin spotted this very spot, but eagle-eyed fans will be able to spot the difference. There used to be an image taken on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2018 wedding day on display. Now, of course, Hello magazine, because they're pretty soft on these things and quite careful with Harry and Meghan, said, there's a chance Charles's team has simply chosen to display the wedding image elsewhere, but it's lovely to see the smiling snap of Charles and Louis now proudly on display. I mean, pull the other one, P. Dinah. Of course, this is not a coincidence. This is absolutely symbolism, and it backs up what I have been reporting earlier in the show, which is that this delusion that Harry has that things are great between him and Charles is increasingly out of touch with the reality of how Charles actually feels.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They are able to erase you. That's what they do. Erase you from history, erase you from, looking like you're still a part of the family. Absolutely, they did that intentionally because they're sending a message. Why would they try to not do something like that? Look at everything that Harry has done. The royals have no voice. This is the one way they have a voice, is through these symbols. And, taking away a photo allows them to show, how they feel about something. I mean, of course, if you don't really have a way to come out and refute or rebut things that is said about you in the media, the one way you do have it is by placement of photos. And I think absolutely this was done intentionally. And I think it's great when they do things like that, because they should have this way of showing, how they feel about things, because they can't otherwise with their voice or with, other ways. This is a great way to show how you feel, right? So I don't know why they do that. Like, why would they try? I mean, I guess they want to show themselves as being a magazine that's not trying to be too, combative or whatever, but just, look, just say what the reality is. We're all thinking it.
And this is why the mainstream media is just dying, P. Dinah, because no one wants their soft soap PR'd version of events. It's like, we want the unvarnished truth. And the unvarnished truth is that things are really bad between Harry and Charles at the moment. And he clearly has removed the picture for very good reasons. And it is highly symbolic. Look, there were some astonishing pictures that came in overnight, P. Dinah. Not sure if you're a big football fan, but Prince William watching his beloved Aston Villa, and he was just absolutely going wild.
Right? Like the man.
I was thinking, P. Dinah, do you remember the late Queen when she used to watch her horses?
The horses,
and
yes.
And the Queen Mother. And no one was saying, oh, she's taking away the dignity of the monarchy. Do you, like, the Queen would be,
right,
be like that, and with their binoculars. And I think it's really out of touch, people criticizing William for this. I think people actually love seeing William like this.
We love this. We want to see our future king show emotions, real emotions that we too can relate to. Okay, this makes him human. This humanizes this man. Stop making him like someone that has to be so well contained to a stiff upper lip. This is a new day, a new time. Stop it. Okay? That's ridiculous.
Now, I also think Harry is just so desperate at the moment, P. Dinah, to do anything possible to overshadow William. And I've got another example. But before I come to it, because it relates to David Attenborough, I think we just have to give a huge big up to this man who, remember, was very close to Queen Elizabeth II and today is marking his 100th birthday. And it's very sad to me that his good friend, the late Queen, didn't get to this milestone. We really hoped that they would get to it together, P. Dinah. And then who would have sent the late Queen the letter? The famous letter that everyone received. So that's the first thing I want to say. Just amazing, David Attenborough. Absolutely amazing. 100 and still going strong. It is just incredible. But P. Dinah, there is a bit of a battle amongst the royal family for proximity to David Attenborough. Of course, his loyalties were always with the late Queen, but he has also done events like here he was at the Netflix event that was attended. It was a very rare event, actually attended by King Charles, Prince Harry, and Prince William. And this was a big deal, P. Dinah. I remember reporting it at the time because King Charles wasn't going to attend that event because it was a Netflix event. And at the time, The Crown was running the most recent series, which was very negative about him in terms of the marriage to Princess Diana. So they came to an agreement between the palace and Netflix, which was that no stars of The Crown would attend that event. And as a result, King Charles went. And of course, we got those incredible pictures of the three men whose relationship was really faltering at that point with David Attenborough. So I'm just making the point, P. Dinah, there is a long history with David Attenborough and the British royal family. But I'd say he's least close to Harry, actually. But Harry has decided to try and get himself some good PR for David Attenborough's birthday. This wasn't something that was asked for him to do, by writing an article. And P. Dinah, I say writing, I mean, he didn't write this, okay? Harry didn't write this. It was either AI or written by one of his team or sort of commissioned out, because I just don't believe he wrote this. I'm just being totally honest with you. And it's for Time magazine. And he wrote, for almost anyone who grew up in the United Kingdom, Sir David Attenborough is more than a broadcaster. He is a secular saint. He is an institutional pillar as essential to the national fabric as a cup of tea. His almost whispers have been the soft soundtrack of the home, a shared experience that turned the Weekend Nature documentary into a national ritual. Whether you grew up enjoying biscuits or cookies, he is the man who showed you the world through a uniquely spectacular lens. He has earned the world's trust by simply showing us that our environment is worth appreciating. He didn't demand our attention, but drew us in with the wonder of nature all the same. In Attenborough's approach, we find a vital lesson for our time, that wonder is a powerful precursor to protection, reminding us that we may only care for a world that we have first learned to truly value. Now, it went on and on and on, P. Dinah. But my thing is, firstly, Attenborough didn't ask you to do this. He actually wanted it to be relatively low-key. I've seen him speaking about that. And there was a whole load planned by the BBC where he continues to work. But the bigger point is, P. Dinah, the way that people are authentic, and that is something that Harry and Meghan have put so much stock in, being authentic, is when we hear your voice, when we read your words. Okay, people often say, I mean, I used to write a lot. I had my columns for years and years and years. And the biggest compliment people could give me, P. Dinah, is, oh, it was like you were speaking to me. I could hear your voice in that. It was just like you were talking. That's the joy of writing. And that's why I hate AI so much and people who use AI to write their articles. Now, Harry may have used AI for this. He may have got someone else to write it. But trust me, that's not his voice. And it would have been so much better for Harry to actually write something from the heart, because this tribute, P. Dinah, I think was just an attempt to try and get some good PR off the back of David Attenborough. way that people are authentic, and that is something that Harry and Meghan have put so much stock in, being authentic, is when we hear your voice, when we read your words. Okay, people often say, I mean, I used to write a lot. You know, I had my columns for years and years and years. And the biggest compliment people could give me, P. Dinah, is, oh, it was like you were speaking to me. I could hear your voice in that. It was just like you were talking. You know, that's the joy of writing. And that's why I hate AI so much and people who use AI to write their articles. Now, Harry may have used AI for this. He may have got someone else to write it. But trust me, that's not his voice. And it would have been so much better for Harry to actually write something from the heart. Because this tribute, P. Dinah, I think was just an attempt to try and get some good PR off the back of David Attenborough. Something for me right now. It is free. It is easy. It is simple. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That's because over 50% of you watching this video haven't done that yet. And it is the best way to support our...
I would say that Harry definitely took a shortcut here because this was not in his voice. Harry just wants to do things for reasons that are not authentic. And just listening to what he wrote there just seemed not like him. And, like I said before, Harry is just confused. He is just trying to do things to get attention. I think he's very, I think, upset about the life that he has right now, the way it's going for him. And he wants to just remain relevant. And even if it means putting something out there that is not truly him speaking, he's going to do it because he's a lost prince. He doesn't even know what his voice is at this point. I mean, one minute he's writing in spare, saying all these horrible things, about his own family. And next we're supposed to believe that you have this heartfelt tribute to a man that you really don't know that well. And it doesn't even sound like you. Like this, Harry is so off the mark with everything that he does. And I think it's his continued attachment to Meghan. And so reading and looking at what he has done here, it's pathetic that he wants to try to make himself appear as if he's doing something nice and, kind. But at the end of the day, it all falls short because we know who you are. We see the history that you have created. And that is completely not who you are, Harry. And it continues to show every time you try to make yourself relevant. It's terrible.
Hey, Dinah, there was this big breaking news story overnight. Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor, attacked by some type of madman or in a masked man terror, as the Daily Mirror put it on their front page. Chased by this man in a balaclava. That man has now been charged by police, P. Dinah. But what I think is pretty wrong about this is he is immediately using it by briefing the newspapers, the Daily Telegraph, who I think he briefed this story in the first place, to demand taxpayer-funded security, P. Dinah. So here's the latest. Police arrested Alex Jenkinson, 39, on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. Friends said it highlighted the ongoing issue about the long-term safety of the King's brother following revelations about his links to Jeffrey Epstein, the late paedophile. The King withdrew his younger brother's personal allowance and private security provision in 2024 as he attempted to force his removal from Royal Lodge in Windsor in the wake of the scandal. A source close to Mr. Mountbatten, Windsor, has called for the security provision to be reviewed because of the risk to his safety. A Force spokesman said officers were called shortly after 7:30 p.m. yesterday. Following a report, a man was behaving in an intimidating manner in the village. Officers attended and the man was arrested on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. He was taken to Kings Lynn Police Investigation Centre for questioning. Alex Jenkinson, aged 39 and of Stowmarket, Suffolk, has since been charged with 2 counts of using threatening, abusive or insulting words or behaviour to harass someone or cause alarm or distress and failing to provide a specimen of blood in custody. He has been remanded in custody and is due to appear at Norwich Magistrates Court tomorrow. But then a source close to Mr. Mountbatten, Windsor, told the newspaper, even though Andrew is no longer a working member of the royal family, the threat to his personal safety is greater than ever. In fact, it could be argued that he is actually more at risk, not only from a potential terror attack, but also from individuals who have become fixated due to all the coverage he has attracted over recent years. This incident clearly demonstrates why his security provisions need to be appropriate for someone with a high profile. There should be a review which gives proper consideration to Andrew in the light of what has happened. Now, Pete Diner, this is, got a lot of anger. We broke this story yesterday during the Royal Uncancelled After Show with Paula Frolic Uncensored, and she said she just wants Andrew to stay under house arrest, that effectively he shouldn't leave Wood Farm at all, and she has no sympathy. And then we had on our other main show, you can actually watch that highlight now, P. Diner, on YouTube, Di Davies, the former head of Royal Protection, who also had absolutely no sympathy for Andrew and is absolutely certain that he should not be receiving taxpayer-funded security, because in Di Davies' view, Andrew should actually be in prison right now awaiting the results of this investigation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While listening to this story, I was thinking, yeah, this man has done some things that he needs to atone for, and he hasn't. He essentially being on house arrest is not really a true punishment, but he should have to just stay in his home, not leave. And I think if he wants to have any kind of protection, what has he done to try to show paying back to society? What has he had to do to show reparations, in a sense? Like, okay, can he do something to I guess warrant any kind of protection for him? I think Andrew needs to stay away in his home. Don't leave. And if this man wants to leave, he should have to do something for the community, for the victims. He hasn't done anything. How can a man just act as if his life is just now going to be a quiet life without ever having to atone for what he has done? And I think that's the part that needs to happen if he wants to get any kind of protection. I mean, I don't know how the taxpayers would feel long-term about something like that, but this man needs to do something for the crimes that he is being accused of. I think this is what happens when you do things like this. You have crazy people, they're going to try to hurt you. I mean, even if you hadn't done, I mean, look what happened with the Queen. I mean, and when at Buckingham Palace. So, yeah, Andrew needs to do something to atone for what he has done to get some kind of security. But I think he gets what he gets right now because he's doing nothing. Just acting as if nothing happened. He didn't do anything, right? I mean, this man has paid no real price, I don't think. I mean, just going into a quiet life is not really paying the price for anything.
Some people would love it.
I don't know. How do you feel about that, Dan? I mean,
the problem is, I said this yesterday, actually, like, I'm absolutely a huge believer in innocent until proven guilty, but there's a huge problem, P. Diner, in that there was an establishment cover-up over the whole situation with Epstein and Andrew. So if people hadn't demanded this type of justice, I would say, though, the worry that we've got is that I don't want another death in this case, because I think Jeffrey Epstein certainly didn't take his own life. I don't believe that for a single second. But the fact that he's not around anymore has actually made it a lot harder to bring other people to justice. Do you see what I mean? So I also think it's not good for anyone if Andrew is killed by a madman, or if he does mysteriously die. I don't think that helps the situation. So I think you can look at it in both ways. But in terms of taxpayer-funded security, absolutely not. Charles is giving a lot of money to it. But look, P. Diner, there is other big revelations, and this is nuts, actually, because it's the Daily Mail going against their own report to reveal all of Meghan Markle's plans, which include a new threat for a royal autobiography, which she has been secretly recording on her phone for years, even when she was in the British royal family. So we've got to get into all of the details of this. It's extraordinary.
Generate a well-structured full-sentence segment-by-segment YouTube commentary script for the video. Below is a structured YouTube commentary script based on the transcript. It preserves the core discussion while removing sensational claims presented as fact and clearly distinguishes reporting from analysis. Prince Harry's reported regrets, Princess Charlotte, and King Charles's symbolic message. Opening. Welcome back, everyone. Today's story combines three different developments that have sparked plenty of discussion among royal watchers. First, reports claim that Prince Harry has been left reflecting on the childhood his own children are missing after seeing Princess Charlotte's recent birthday portrait. Second, there are fresh claims that Harry would like Archie and Lilibet to be educated in the United Kingdom. And finally, eagle-eyed observers believe King Charles may have sent a subtle message by changing one of the family photographs displayed at Highgrove House. Let's break down what is actually being reported, what is speculation, and what it could all mean. Segment 1. Princess Charlotte's birthday and Harry's reported feelings. The discussion began following Princess Charlotte's birthday portrait. According to reports attributed to Daily Mail royal editor Richard Eden, an unnamed friend claimed Prince Harry felt saddened after seeing the image because it reminded him that Archie and Lilibet are growing up without the close relationships that Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis enjoy with their extended family. The report suggests Harry wishes his children could experience the same family environment that he enjoyed growing up within the royal family. It's important to note that these claims come from anonymous sources rather than Prince Harry himself, so they should be treated as reports rather than confirmed facts. Segment 2. Could Harry want his children educated in Britain? The report goes further by suggesting Harry has discussed the possibility of educating Archie and Lilibet in Britain. The reasoning is understandable on the surface. Harry attended British schools, maintained friendships from those years, and reportedly believes his children would benefit from growing up around cousins and extended family. However, this immediately raises practical questions. Harry and Meghan have established their lives in California. Their children have spent virtually their entire lives there, and any decision to relocate or attend school overseas would involve significant family, legal, and logistical considerations. At this stage, there is no confirmation that such a move is actually planned. Segment 3. The debate over Meghan's role. Much of the commentary then shifts toward Meghan Markle. The presenters argue that convincing Meghan to relocate the children would be extremely difficult. They speculate that she would have little interest in sending Archie and Lilibet to school in Britain, particularly if it meant spending long periods away from California. These opinions go well beyond the original report and should be viewed as personal analysis rather than established fact. Without direct comments from Meghan or Harry, nobody outside the family can know what conversations are actually taking place behind closed doors. Segment 4. Are Harry's children missing out? One point raised throughout the discussion is that Archie and Lilibet are growing up very differently from their royal cousins. George, Charlotte, and Louis regularly appear at public events, attend school together, and spend time with members of the wider royal family. Archie and Lilibet, on the other hand, have largely remained out of the public eye while growing up in California. Whether that represents a loss or simply a different upbringing depends largely on perspective. Some believe the children are missing valuable family experiences. Others argue Harry and Meghan intentionally chose a more private lifestyle for exactly that reason. Segment 5. King Charles and the Highgrove photograph. The second major topic focuses on photographs displayed inside King Charles's Highgrove residence. Recent images of the room show that a wedding photograph of Harry and Meghan, which had previously been displayed, is no longer visible. Instead, observers noticed other family photographs occupying the space, including images featuring King Charles with Prince Louis. Some commentators interpret this as a deliberate symbolic message showing how relationships within the royal family have changed. However, it's equally possible that the photographs were simply rearranged. Without any official explanation from Buckingham Palace, assigning meaning to the change remains speculative. Segment 6. Is Charles sending a message? The presenters strongly believe the photo change reflects King Charles distancing himself from Harry and Meghan. They argue that members of the royal family often communicate indirectly through symbolism rather than public statements. That interpretation fits with broader reports suggesting relations between father and son remain strained. At the same time, symbolism is subjective. What some viewers see as a carefully planned message, others may see as nothing more than routine redecorating. Without confirmation, both interpretations remain possibilities. Segment 7. The bigger picture. Taken together, these stories paint a picture of an ongoing family divide. If the reports about Harry's regrets are accurate, they suggest he may be reflecting on the consequences of leaving royal life and how that decision has shaped his children's upbringing. Meanwhile, speculation surrounding King Charles continues to reinforce the perception that reconciliation remains distant. Whether these developments represent genuine movement behind the scenes or simply another round of media interpretation is something only those directly involved truly know. Closing. For now, the confirmed facts remain relatively limited. Princess Charlotte celebrated her birthday. Reports claim Harry wishes his children had closer ties to the royal family. Observers noticed a change in photographs displayed at Highgrove. Everything beyond that largely depends on anonymous sources, interpretation, and opinion. As always with royal stories, separating confirmed reporting from speculation is essential. Our thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.